There are three pots. One pot is overturned, another pot is got a hole in it, has a hole in it, and then the third pot has poison in it. And this was actually intended to be the opening for my TED Talk. But when I found out that each speaker is given just 10 minutes, so I had to think what else I could talk, and I left this out. Hi, my name is Karma Dendup. This is season 2 of #MyTake. On every Wednesday, I pick a letter, and then that letter turns into a word, and then it becomes a concept, and I share my 2 bits about it. And given the overwhelming reaction and comments from all of you, I have decided to do season 2 of #MyTake. So today the letter is L, and the word is listening. And like I was sharing in the beginning of this video, so there are 3 pots, one overturned, one pot with a hole, and the third pot has poison in it. And to give you a backstory, or now as Gen Z or Gen Alpha would call it, the origin story. The origin story of the 3 pots comes from Kunzalami Shelung. I adore, one of my favorite Buddhist literature books, and it's like my Google, it's my chat GPT for anything spiritual, or whenever I get stuck in life, always find an anecdote or something to make sense of it all. So anyway, the 3 pots. So these, the Kunzalami Shelung begins with the example of these 3 pots, and it's actually meant as an example for people on how not to listen to the Dharma. So the things to avoid is not be an overturned pot, or not be a pot which has a hole in it, and not be a pot with poison in it. And while the Kunzalami Shelung, the words of my perfect teacher, speaks of this as a dharmic practice, in the 25 years of practicing Buddhism and learning and researching Buddhism, I have started to merge and fuse all of this so-called religious or spiritual practices into my daily life. And this is how I listen to my wife. Honestly, I can't say I succeed in it all the time, because there is just way too much emotion and passion involved whenever the 2 of us communicate. And I try to use this with my children as well. And the practice, or the hope, is that eventually I will be able to have this mindset or practice it in every conversation that I have. To elaborate a bit further, what the Kunzalami Shelung talks with regard to an overturned pot is that you're sitting down to have a conversation. So we will do away with the dharmic situation and speak about it like a conversation that you're having with your wife, your partner, your children, your parent, your boss, or basically anyone. And the thing to avoid is being an overturned pot. So an overturned pot would be that you're just not listening. You are there, physically present, but you are not listening. So everything the other person is saying is just going over your head, or nothing is going in. The second example is of the pot with a hole. That's like, I get this a lot. Now I can't see their facial expression, but even now, after vision loss, I can still sense when somebody is just indulging and not really participating in the conversation. And that's the example of a pot with a hole, wherein somebody is talking, they are engaging, you are getting a response, they are nodding their head, they are giving their the ahas, but it's going in from one ear and it's going out of the other, just like a pot which has a hole in it. And the final example of a pot with a poison, and I think most of us are guilty of it, and it's not literally poison, but then again, it just might be, because this is now when somebody is telling you something, but you're already mixing it up with a past episode or a past encounter or an experience that you had with this person, then you are listening, but what is registering in your mind is mixed up with all of these experiences, and most often, if I think it's safe to assume that it's not really positive, and it's with a negative stain. And that's what I wanted to share today. And hopefully, while the Kunzalami Shalung teaches this for a way for us to listen to the Dharma, hopefully you'll remember this if you ever find yourself in a Dharma teaching session. But more than that, I feel that you can definitely use this when you're communicating with your, like I shared, your wife, your partner, your husband, your child, your parent, your boss, your teacher, your student. So that's today's hashtag MyTake. And the only way that I know that it's reaching you guys is when you guys make a comment. So comment, share, follow, and I'll catch you in the next one.